Okay, great. Hello, everyone, again, and thank you for joining for our webinar, Wellness for the New Year. So today we're going to be briefly discussing what CBD is first, then the concept of endocannabinoid deficiency, and then looking to benefits as an antioxidant, potential preventative benefits, recovery benefits, sleep benefits, and then some of our contact information in that Q&A for those of us who are joining us today. So, although other cannabinoids will be discussed, I want to introduce CBD solely because it is the first option for many when we consider access, what available research there is, and its mechanisms of action. CBD is short for cannabidiol, one of the many phytocannabinoids or cannabinoid from plants found in cannabis and hemp, and has been researched for its therapeutic benefits. It is devoid of psychoactive activity, meaning it is one of the non intoxicating cannabinoids. And one of the reasons why it has gained a lot of attention for research as well. CBD is a modulator of cannabinoid receptors CB1 and CB2, for example, as well as non cannabinoid receptors such as the 5-HT1A serotonin receptor. Among others, the research therapeutic actions of CBD in particular are as an anti inflammatory, anti anxiety, analgesic, antibacterial, antidepressant, antiemetic, antispasmodic, anti-ischemic, antioxidant, and neuroprotectant, among others. If you have joined me for a webinar before, you may be familiar then with this concept of endocannabinoid deficiency. Clinical endocannabinoid deficiency was first presented in 2001 by Dr. Ethan Russo and has been further explored since then. I find it's important to revisit this concept often because it helps us to gain some understanding of why these phytocannabinoids have so much therapeutic potential. Endocannabinoids, specifically the endocannabinoids AEA and 2-AG, are generated by our cell membranes and either bind or activate cannabinoid receptors within our endocannabinoid system. These endocannabinoids are involved in different physiological and pathological processes, such as regulating food intake, immunomodulation, inflammation, pain, cancer, addictive behavior, seizure disorders, and more. Therefore, it would seem that if the levels of the endocannabinoids or endocannabinoid function were decreased, then we would witness a disturbance in digestion, pain threshold, mood, sleep, or others. That's where that deficiency comes from. The greatest evidence for clinical endocannabinoid deficiency is present with PTSD, IBS, fibromyalgia, and migraines as they have common pathophysiological trends, one being that they all display elevated incidences of anxiety and depression. Another piece of evidence seen is that for the most part, these conditions are treatment resistant. There may be pharmaceutical drugs available to alleviate certain associated symptoms, resulting in one taking several different medications to target those various symptoms, but not one conclusive treatment. So one could consider this to be relative to a key nutrient that we're missing out on, such as how a vitamin B deficiency may result in beriberi, or an iron deficiency may result in anemia. When our bodies are deficient of key players in the regulation of our physiological or pathological processes, then it is likely that we will witness ailments. Through Dr. Ethan Russo's research and the clinical trials that have taken place and continue to take place, we have seen the ability of cannabinoid therapy to offer potential relief to the researched examples of endocannabinoid deficiency, among many others. If you are curious to know more about cannabinoid therapy for a specific condition, our care team is more than happy to speak with you one on one, and I will have that contact information towards the end here. So, just as our bodies are naturally designed to produce these endocannabinoids to maintain a homeostasis or regulating processes throughout our bodies and brains, our bodies are also naturally designed to eliminate toxins through detoxification. Supplementing with CBD may help to enhance the body's natural detoxification system. So, first, let's consider what oxidative stress is. Oxidative stress takes place when potentially harmful free radicals, which are atoms that may cause damage to cells, proteins, and DNA, overwhelm the body's natural antioxidants. We take in endogenous and antioxidants to, excuse me, we take in uh, from the outside antioxidants to assist our body in the prevention or by decreasing oxidative stress. These antioxidants that we take safely interact with the free radicals before molecules become damaged. So, antioxidants that you might be familiar with that you are taking are vitamin E, vitamin C, beta carotene, and zinc, which many of us find in fruits and vegetables or as supplements. So, research has shown the ability of CBD and THC to be equally successful at blocking or modulating toxic levels of glutamate. Glutamate is an excitatory neurotransmitter that is released by nerve cells in the brain and responsible for sending signals, which plays an important role in our learning and memory. However, it can also be damaging to nerve cells and the brain as a whole. When there are abnormally high concentrations of glutamate, or when the receptors are overly sensitive, meaning less glutamate is needed to excite the cell, then the cells become overexcited, which leads to their damage or death. In other words, oxidative stress. The effects of CBD and THC on toxic glutamate levels were comparable to the industrial antioxidant known as BHT, suggesting their role as an effective antioxidant. This also shows promise for CBD as a neuroprotectant, which leads us then to the preventative benefits. Movement disorders like Parkinson's disease are debilitating conditions linked to oxidative stress, neurodegeneration, and inflammation. Data reviewed in several studies carried out mostly with rodents have pointed to the role of CBD and THC in the prevention of certain movement disorders as they appear effective for primary and secondary dystonic movements. The reduction of oxidative stress by CBD has further shown in research that it may prevent nephrotoxicity or liver toxicity in mouse models. Cannabinoids have become a strong candidate for the prevention of several conditions. The anxiolytic effects of CBD and CBDA, for example, may prevent stress and anxiety, which studies have shown affects more than just that behavioral component, as it may prevent an increase in blood pressure and cardiac output, which is an abnormal increase in the amount of blood the heart outputs. And as an antiemetic, CBD and possibly more so CBDA may prevent vomiting or nausea caused by motion sickness, but also anticipatory nausea. Cannabinoids have been researched to be anti inflammatory. In fact, researchers use terms such as novel and potent to describe their anti inflammatory actions. This can have an effect on the prevention of several inflammatory conditions, as well as assist our body processes in decreasing harmful inflammation. One way it can assist is potentially with our immune system, as cannabinoids may be able to suppress cytokine production and induce T cell activity to help fight off infections. The cannabis plant not only has anti inflammatory cannabinoids such as THC, THCA, CBD, CBDA, CBN, and CBG, just to name a few, but it also contains anti inflammatory terpenes such as caryophyllene, borneol, nerolidol, linalool, limonene, and pinene, among the most popular. In addition, the other less studied compounds of the cannabis plant are the flavonoids that share the same mechanisms of some of these terpenes. Canflavins A, B, and C are among some of those flavonoids with researched anti inflammatory actions. So, when working together in, for example, a full spectrum product, each cannabinoid, terpene, and flavonoid may enhance each other's action, which is a concept known as the entourage effect. Speaking of inflammation, CBD, as well as other anti inflammatory cannabinoids, may be helpful in reducing inflammation of the muscles and tissue as a part of post workout recovery. With New Year resolutions comes the motivation to exercise. So it can be good to know that how to help your body recover from strenuous workouts and to therefore hopefully prevent injury. The potential of alleviating the muscle inflammation may be able to enhance recovery time by decreasing muscle tension, soreness, and pain. And when it comes to recovery, having quality sleep is very important. If you missed our webinar on sleep, you can check it out in your client portal, but I'm going to go over a few of those points here. The first way that cannabinoids may assist in improving our sleep is by mitigating the conditions that may be keeping us awake. Pain, anxiety, and inflammation related autoimmune disorders, including arthritis, diabetes, IBS, and Crohn's disease, all have an effect on our body clock function, which may lead to sleep disorders. Another way cannabinoids may assist is when we consider the actions of each. For example, CBD may directly assist in aligning our circadian rhythms, one of which being the sleep wake cycle. The actions of our endocannabinoid system appear aligned with our circadian rhythms, therefore, may modulate them. CBD, being a modulating molecule, has the potential to improve our sleep wake cycles, leading to an increase in the percentage of total sleep over time. THC, on the other hand, has shown in studies as having an effect on mental and physical sedation, as well as lessening nightmare presence and intensity in PTSD study participants. In addition, THC shares properties of our endocannabinoid known as oleamide, which is known to benefit apneic events. CBN has become a popular cannabinoid when discussing sleep benefits. And while the CBN molecule itself does not show as providing sedating effects in what research is available, when it is presented in combination with THC, higher levels of drowsiness were observed. In addition, CBN, being aged THC, contains heavier terpenes that are slow to evaporate, known as sesquiterpenes. These specific terpenes can be naturally more calming, such as nerolidol and caryophyllene oxide. Again, this is all in the sleep webinar, but if you wanted to reach out to our care specialist to talk about issues with sleep or get some research articles, we would be happy to help with that. So, just some takeaways from this webinar. First, CBD is one of the most well known cannabinoids due to its accessibility, well known research, and non intoxicating benefits. Clinical endocannabinoid deficiency may explain physiological and pathological symptoms suffered from treatment resistant conditions. CBD and THC have been researched for antioxidant properties to aid in preventing oxidative stress, therefore, conditions caused by oxidative stress. And researched cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids point to improvements in inflammatory conditions, anxiety, sleep, and more. So, to learn more about these researched effects, make sure you visit our research library. And if you want to reach out to our care team to discuss anything cannabinoid therapy related one on one, we are here for you. You can email or call our care team directly with this information or head to our contact us section to schedule an appointment.